Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Dave Morris alongside Leslie Spears from the Myriad Gardens. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are things?
Really great.
Did I hear you correctly in that the Myriad Gardens is now 29?
We are 29 years old.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We had some naysayers when we were holding the ground, but I always love to post those old photos. People love to see old historical photos of Oklahoma City, just so they can appreciate.
It's true, and you know that botanical tube is so iconic when you look at the skyline or down aerial, if you will, of Oklahoma City. So it's interesting to see how the construction and development around the Myriad Gardens has changed.
I know.
In 3 decades, I guess.
It's fascinating, and someone just recently showed me some old blueprints about how it was supposed to be an art museum and a science museum and all this stuff, but it got, whittled down because of budgets. But I think it all worked out well, don't you?
I think the name is held up too. Myriad, you could say it's kind of generic, but I like the name.
I do too.
I think it's held up well for the Myriad Gardens, and
we have a myriad of tulips and a myriad of orchids.
the myriad of orchids is exactly right. It's one of the things we're going to talk about today with Leslie is all the colors that are happening over there.
Right. We have an exhibit called Kaleidoscope of Colors, and we're saying it's interior-exterior exhibit. And inside the Crystal Bridge, just hundreds of orchids, beautiful ones, white ones, pink ones, yellow ones. We do have some blue ones.
Now explain the little objects we're seeing there, the circles and the squares.
Our director of horticulture, Nate, he has made all these mobiles. There's a giant one that hangs down from the ceiling, and it moves. It's so cool.
So what's the point, the purpose, the function of those?
Just showing you colors.
Gotcha.
I love colors. I'm drawn to colors, and it's drawing people in. He also made these kaleidoscopes where people have been able to take videos on their phone of actual flowers making a kaleidoscope.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Leslie does a lot of work on the Myriad Gardens Instagram account. In fact, she probably runs the Instagram account. So you can go to instagram.com/Myriad Gardens, and a ton of these photos, I believe Paige pulled some of those Instagram photos that we saw of the orchids. It really is beautiful.
Well, I'm a little bit over posty right now because I'm just so excited for the blooms. I get why winter has to happen, because when these blooms come out, like I have this crossvine bloom in the children's garden, it's like, oh wow, it's back. I'm a bit of a child in a candy store, so yeah, sorry. But if you go to #MyriadBlooms, it makes you happy, I swear.
All right, very good. MyriadGardens.org for more information as well. Let's talk some specifics. We mentioned the kaleidoscope. You have guided tours.
Yes, we have a guided tour every Saturday at 11. I think the next 2 Saturdays. Okay. And then the Saturday after that is our big sale of all the
So a guided tour the 1st and the 8th, and then on the 15th, everything must go.
Everything must go.
Meaning you'll be selling the orchids.
Right. We'll have them all pulled out from the Crystal Bridge and into the south lobby. April 15th is our big Easter day. We have 2 major Easter egg hunts. We have our doggy Easter egg hunt. It's just going to be crazy, but so you can just go into the south lobby and just pick and choose. We'll have our horticulture team, which I just adore. They're so bright and so knowledgeable
people. Yep.
Yes, and they'll just tell you, just water it,
So you have an orchid at home. Is it that easy? Have you been able to sustain the orchid?
Somebody told me, just put 2 cubes of ice in.
Yeah, just kind of let it slowly. And did that work for you?
No.
Okay.
So I brought it into work and asked the horticulture team, and they said, "Oh, you got the 2 cubes of ice advice." They go, "No, just because your roots are real dry. You just need to get these roots wet." Oh. And the planter it was in was decorative, but it wasn't effective. So, yeah, I really love my coworkers. I'm really lucky right now.
Yeah, I'm not good at keeping a flower or a plant alive, so.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, the orchids, though, price point's pretty reasonable.
Yes. Right now, I think it's about $10 to $20.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can take it home, and we do this every year after an orchid show we've had, and people will take photos a year later when they get new blooms and tag us and say, "Hey, this is a Crystal Bridge orchid, and I just want you to know I've really enjoyed it, and the blooms are coming back, so I appreciate you." Blah blah blah. We get the love back.
I think I would feel a whole lot better with a Myriad Garden orchid, knowing that this is the real deal. It's healthy. It's on its way. All I have to do is somehow sustain this plant.
Right. And back to the Kaleidoscope of Colors tour, it also goes outside. We just went through our tulip phase. We planted our tulips early, so they came out in March for spring break.
Smart for this year.
But we're also going to point out other outdoor Kaleidoscope of Colors.
Okay, you also touched on Easter. What all is going on for you guys on Easter?
Holy moly, so
Okay.
much.
That seems like a lot.
So much, yes. Okay, so at 10 o'clock, we're going to start our first flight of Easter egg hunts in the children's garden.
Okay.
And we start with the crawlers and the 0 to 2. I said it's in crawlers, anyway. And then it goes on up to 6 to 8.
Okay.
And then at 1:30, we have our doggy Easter egg hunt, which is so fun. People actually put Easter ears on their dogs. And
I have no doubt that they dress up the hounds.
and we just throw the eggs out on the great lawn, and there's a rope, and everyone's got Easter baskets for their dogs. It's really cute how people go all. I mean, there was a dog in a dress, and anyway, so we play "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog," and they release, and then we go back to the children's garden, and we have our second flight of Easter egg hunt, which is at 3,
Okay.
and it goes to about 4. We're also gonna have a wine and palette. We're gonna be painting bunnies.
Lots going on Easter Sunday.
Yes. Easter Saturday.
Easter Saturday. Okay, very good. And more information on that again at myriadgardens.org. What else do we need to chat about here today? You always have so much going on. I know you have a Meet the Gardener event coming up.
We have a great person who heads our children's garden, Abby Curry, and you can just meet her and she can talk with the kids. She's really good with talking about worms, and kids love worms. And speaking of that,
I'm a big worm person myself.
You're a big worm?
No, not
a big
really,
worm.
no.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
But we are having a festival in in June, the Hungry Caterpillar. We're going to transform the children's garden into the Hungry Caterpillar, and we're seeking volunteers and input on that right now.
All right, very good. Well, the Kaleidoscope and the Easter events all coming up at the Myriad Gardens. Leslie Spears dropping the knowledge on us. And again, more information on the Instagram account and on that website right there, myriadgardens.org. And one last thing on that Instagram account, scroll down to the Canadian geese and see Leslie's adventures there.
They
Those
have
things are-
pointed tongues. They
yeah.
just, they're
They,
very,
they have attitude.
it's mating season. I think we'll see little baby ducklings soon.
Well, I remember when the Oklahoman was at Britain and Broadway, and you would see 1 or 2 Canadian geese, and then 6 days later is Jurassic Park. They were just roaming the hills.
They're
So,
quite exquisite in how they look, but God, they're mean. This time of year.
very good. Leslie, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.